Hi everyone, my name is Ierie, and of course this is Reminisce with This, where I take a little time out of my day to sit and reminisce with you on all of the different hobbies, interests, and collections that I have obtained over the years. It's not always about the physical form of those collections that hold something dear to me, but the memories that I've made along the way that really do hold that importance of why I continue collecting today, and why I've decided to make this YouTube channel. Mainly because I would like to reminisce on all of those simpler times and share a little bit more positivity in this world, as it's already a little dark and it can be really gloomy when, so much of the world is constantly just reminding you of the place you're in presently, and it doesn't give you a huge opportunity to dive back into your own memories of the past, of childhood, in a positive manner. So that's why I do this today. And that's why I continue to try and be as positive as I possibly can, because even myself, I need to be reminded of the positive times from my own past and maybe the things that I may have missed out on as I was a kid and growing up. Again, I'm not perfect by any means, but I definitely have times that I may have definitely missed a thing or two, and times that people, places, or things were a little bit more maybe missed opportunities or things that I have missed that I didn't appreciate as much as I should and can today. So that's why I started this journey, and that's why I will continue the path that I'm on. Now, of course, today is Shiny New Things Saturday, and of course, we're going to get into the Marvel Legends Daredevil figure. As you can see, it's kind of wobbly, but that's just because it's on a flight stand that I made out of a wire hanger. Now, I am really excited to add this figure to my collection. Honestly, the only other Daredevil figure I ever had, besides the MCU, I guess, version from back in the day, which I actually did sell, but was the original Toy Biz, I think original Toy Biz Daredevil figure from back in the day. And quite frankly, it was an okay figure. It was a good placement for what it was for my collection, but I've been waiting for something like this for quite some time. This is that Secret Wars Daredevil, and I'm happy to add him to my collection. As you can see, I already have him posed a bit, so we'll get into the effects and the other accessories that he comes with before I show you the posability. Now, I only know a little bit about Daredevil from certain points of comics and or TV shows or cartoons that he appeared in from time to time over the years. Now, I really do like this figure a lot. From what I was doing, I was posing it here and there, and it's going to be a great addition to my shelf and display. So, of course, he comes with two open hands. I did switch his hands. Actually, these are the hands that come on the figure in the package, where he has an open hand and then a closed fist hand. These are going to be for the baton. And this is what I really like about this baton, and this is one reason why I was waiting for a good figure, because the batons that have come out over the years, when you take them apart, there was always a little peg that was still sticking out, which made it a little harder for a lot of the dynamic poses, because to me, it just looked off. But this Daredevil has the batons here that honestly are probably going to be my favorite batons going forward. Now, I wish and hope that they're going to continue this method, because these batons, of course, you don't see that peg, because the peg itself actually is removable, and if you would like to turn it into one staff, you're more than welcome to, but this is probably how I'm going to keep it posed, as it's just going to be super awesome to have these two separated and not have anything sticking out at the ends. And of course, that's just awesome for Daredevil, as these are, of course, are his main tool of fighting, I should say weapon that he has. and uses throughout the comics and the iterations that I have seen him in. Of course, he does come with the Secret Wars little, I guess, I'm not sure if it's like a shield by any means, but it's from the old school, I want to say maybe it was Toy Biz, beyond my time, honestly, but it's one of those semblances. Now, I don't really use these. I don't display them. They're honestly in a box of things that I don't use for my Marvel Legends. But the next up is, of course, going to be his sensory effect with Daredevil being blind. This is kind of how he sees and is able to hear and focus on the villain or person at hand in front of him. And that's kind of that effect which is showing or showcasing in a way his power set being used from being blind. Now, like I said, I don't know a whole lot about Daredevil, but I definitely love this figure. I want to say the most that I really know about him is that Ben Affleck Daredevil from back in the day. That's probably my main introduction, besides a few of the comics and cartoons and stuff like that. But for the most part, that was what I really knew of him as a kid in that semblance. Now, I do like that he has these butterfly joints, so if you really want to get him in some really dope dynamic poses, you're more than able to. And he does have those double jointed elbows per usual, and of course, that just leaves more room for a lot more posability for this figure. His head does go up and down, and as you can see, his legs do go up quite a bit for this. Now you can, if you really wanted to, kick all the way up towards that back end, but I decided to kind of have him posed like this. But then he does have that boot cut here that swivels, and his ankles do have a slight pivot of going back, or I should say a rocking motion of going back and forth. And of course they do hinge up and down. Same with all of his hands. They do have the hinge of up and down. Again, I really do like this figure, quite honestly, and I'm so happy to add it to my collection, as a lot of the other times I kind of missed out on the Daredevil. I want to say it was that 3-pack of Elektra, Daredevil, and Bullseye. I missed out on that, and honestly, on the secondary market, I'm not willing to spend that pricing for those 3 figures, when primarily at the time, the only figure I really wanted from it was the Elektra figure. As you know, I'm primarily a female figure collector, and I just wasn't so excited for that Daredevil or that Bullseye, as I already have a Bullseye figure that is quite honestly just perfect enough for me. So at one point, now that I got this Daredevil, I can honestly just search for that Elektra figure and be happy with what I've got. Now, I do have the Elektra figure in the red from, I want to say it was the, shoot, I forget what wave it was in. I want to say, yeah, I could be wrong, and I don't want to say it, but I want to say, shoot, I can't even think at this moment, because I can't remember, because honestly, there wasn't many figures from that wave that I really wanted, or let alone put that Build-A-Figure together. So that's why I think it's passing my mind right now. But again, I'm really excited to add this particular Daredevil to my collection. I'm indecisive if I want to add it to my Avengers display. I would have to move some things around, or if I want to add him to my Spider-Man display, as I really don't need multiple Daredevil for multiple displays. I could always definitely add this to a display of whichever of my choosing, and however you choose to display your Daredevil is not wrong by any means. I know he was in quite a few teams and made appearances on here and there of certain teams as well, so, you know, there was no wrong choice for it. And, you know, I'm just probably going to cater to the one I want to put him into the most. And I'm still indecisive, like I said. It's in between my Spider-Man and my Avengers team. If I were to put him in my Avengers team, I wouldn't have to move too much around. But if I do put him in my Spider-Man display, there's some figures I would want to move around. And more than likely put him with my Elektra figure for the time being until I'm able to get the white Elektra. But again, I really like this figure. I was playing around with it a little bit before I actually started recording, just so I can kind of get a little bit of a feel for it. I have started, for right now, opening it out of the box prior to filming, simply because of the fact that I feel that the packaging is a little too loud and it kind of overstimulates me when I'm trying to have a discussion about the figure, because the noise and plus me talking, this is still new for me, so I'm trying to find my groove and my niche on how I want to go about this. But I think I might start doing it that way overall, because the couple times that I have been able to do this with opening it beforehand, I feel like my focus is a little bit more present and I'm not all spacey and all over the place when trying to explain why I enjoy these figures. Now, of course, like I said, the Daredevil figure itself is awesome. I really do enjoy this. It kind of did remind me, when I saw it, reminded me of that childhood time when I watched that Daredevil movie. Looking back, of course, it's not the best movie, but it was great to see Elektra back in a way, MCU with Deadpool versus Wolverine. And I'm hoping that in this new movie of Doomsday, you'll see her again. I mean, it seems like we're going to, maybe, for the simple fact that we have Gambit. So who's to say that Elektra won't be there? You know, Jennifer Garner hasn't said anything, but I think it would be really awesome just to see her another time. But who's to say that she won't be there? But who's to say that she will? I think it, honestly, though, it was just a simpler time for my childhood with all of the Marvel movies and the live actions that were coming out, as I only knew, like I said, a little bit about Daredevil as a kid through some like cartoons and stuff like that, as there wasn't too much for me to see, but from the little stints he was in here and there, I was always curious about him. And then, of course, seeing the Daredevil movie again was just a part of my time, of my childhood, that I really did enjoy that. So having this figure now a part of my collection, I'm excited to see what I've changed my display around and place him in that, because I'm kind of running out of room in some of the places that I would place him in. So it's going to be fun to do some changes. So if you do see a lot of my figures all over the place, that's probably because I have to add him to my collection, and I have ordered a couple other figures that I'll be adding to the collection, and of course a few figures that I'll be opening as well over the next few weeks to be adding to the collection. So stay tuned, and thank you for watching this. I really do love this figure, as you already know, but I always appreciate opening something new with you guys and just getting into something new to add to my collection. And per usual, just like always, I really want to thank you for sitting with me and reminiscing today. And on top of that, if you have not been told you are loved, cherished, and or cared about today, I hope you know that I love you and I cherish you and I care about you. It's always a little bit easier to have some kind of positivity to start out your day, so I hope I bring a little bit of joy and positivity your way, despite what might be going on. And honestly as well, I hope that when I share this joy and positivity with you, you share a little joy and positivity to someone in your life. And it may be someone that you're not necessarily close to, but you never know what someone has going on. And by sharing a little joy and positivity in someone else's day, you never know what that might do for them. It might be a domino effect where they start to share a little joy and to someone else, and a little positivity as well. It always starts with one, and you never know where it will go from there. So with that being said, I want to say thank you for reminiscing with me today, and I will catch you tomorrow. Until then, peace.